Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's Dragonrider Happy Hour. I've missed you. We missed last week because I was in Atlanta hosting a big Legend of Zelda event. It was awesome, but I definitely missed my happy hour with friends. So welcome, everybody. If this is your first time being here for a Dragonrider Happy Hour, this is kind of a hangout that I do once a week or so on this YouTube channel to get together with friends over a drink at the bar and talk about the latest in kind of gaming and sometimes tech news, or just, general stuff that we care about, like you would over a normal happy hour if we were not all spending a lot of time in our houses because of things going on in the world. So welcome. So if you're here just for the news, I am going to make chapters in this video, and you're welcome to skip around to the news that you would like to hear about. Today we're going to cover things like Resident Evil's Perfume line, weird and wacky, and I kind of like it. Dead Space Remake confirmed their director, as well as giving us a potential release window, which is cool. Pokemon Go, lots of drama there, and PSVR 2, or what we are referring to as PSVR 2, will maybe have more AAA-like titles. So we're going to discuss a lot of those things, plus some other more quick hits towards the end. But anyway, like I said, if you're here just for the news, feel free to skip around to the appropriate chapters after the live stream is over if you're watching the VOD. But if you're here for the live stream or you're just here to hang out, welcome. Let's go ahead and find out what we're drinking today. Bartender Nate?
Hello, Dragonriders. So today's pretty simple cocktail. This is the Bacardi cocktail. It can only be made with Bacardi rum. That's a court mandate ruling. So if you make it with something else, it's a rum cocktail with grenadine. So yeah, this is real simple. It's just like a daiquiri, which is why I kind of made it for Trisha. This is one of her favorite drinks is a daiquiri. So it's light rum or gold rum, lime juice, and then it's grenadine instead of simple syrup to sweeten it up. It's topped with a cherry. And usually it's put in a cocktail glass, but for the purposes of spillage, we put it in a Collins glass or a highball. Okay?
Yeah.
Enjoy responsibly. Have a good weekend.
Thank you, and thank you for thinking of me not spilling it on my laptop. It's like he knows me or something. If anyone wants the full recipe to create this cocktail on your own, it is posted in the Discord, and the Discord invite link, if you're not already a member of the Discord, is in the description. So I'm gonna check this out because it looks delicious. Ooh, tart, but very good. Yes, like a daiquiri. And it looks like there's a cherry in mine as well, if you're wondering what the black thing floating in my drink is. Very, very good. Jimmy Sprinkles, I see you, says Nate had a cool t-shirt. Nate has a lot of cool t-shirts, I'm not gonna lie. And Christian says, thank you, Nate. I will pass that on to him. So now that I've got a drink in hand, what is everybody else drinking? I'm gonna kind of scroll through chat right now to see what everybody has. Dude on Wheels, the Zelda event went great. It was on Twitch front page. I think at one point we had like 40,000 people watching. It was really cool. It was an honor to be able to host it. It was a very, very cool event. GDK Mouse has a fruity Kopperberg cider to wind down with. What is a Kopperberg cider? Is that just the name of the brand or where it's from? I see Rob K has some coffee. So does Jordaline Reeds. Yep, I get it. A bunch of people drinking water. Keep it hydrated. Diet Dr. Pepper for life, says Alan. Get it. An IPA, says Nathan. Okay, good. Christian Polson says vodka and coffee. It's one of those days. I feel you on those days. I'm having a day where I'm running a little tired myself. I had like a marathon streaming morning for the content that I host for Amazon Live. So I was pretty much in my streaming studio from 7:45 a.m. my time until about 1 p.m. my time with no break in the middle. So that kind of sucked the energy out of me today. So if I seem like I'm moving a little slower, that could be why. Although I'd like to think, since I'm so hyperactive and high energy normally, maybe this just makes me normal. But anyway, this is the end to my work week. today. So after the stream is over, I'm going to put the chapters in the video, and then I am done for the week myself. So thank you guys for helping me wind down the work week. I really appreciate it. Dude on Wheels has some whiskey. Eric Tate has some sweet tea. I love it. John says, did you cover the Dead Space update already? I did not. In fact, this is a great time to jump into the news. We've just been hanging out, so welcome. And let's go ahead and do it. All right, so I know I kind of led with this in the title, and Christian Polson was laughing about this making the title, but this is just so funny to me that there's a Resident Evil perfume line that Capcom announced and is making, and I'm like, of all the video games and of all the franchises to have a perfume line, Resident Evil is not one I would think about. Like, if you'd like to smell like rotting flesh, try the Resident Evil perfume line. Like, what? It's just very, very funny. So it is Resident Evil's 25th anniversary this year, and they have it's not a rotting flesh fragrance, but they've released 3 fragrances based on Chris, Leon, and Jill Valentine. And yeah, which hero do you want to smell like, says Steven Summers. That's exactly it. So Capcom said that Chris's fragrance is, I don't even know what this word is, fougere. I don't know what that means. With hints of cloves and black pepper, intended to remind wearers of the heroism of the grizzled zombie-killing veteran. Leon's fragrance is a citrusy blend designed to create a refreshing, cool feel, and Jill's fragrance is a sweet smell reminiscent of fruit and evocative of the character's intelligence and sense of justice. I don't know. The RCV says maybe you're going to smell like the big fish. I hope that you do not smell like Moreau. That would be gross. Michael Alon says, get real. Is it really true? This is really true. So you can get the collection of all 3 off of the Japanese Capcom website for what amounts to be about $58 US. There's been no word on an international release for these, but it's just the funniest thing to me. So which sounds best to me? I don't know. I would have to smell them. I have no idea. But surprisingly, this is not the first time Capcom has done this. So Ace Attorney got a fragrance line, Devil May Cry got a fragrance line, and so did Monster Hunter. Again, I'm like, Monster Hunter perfume? But yeah, it's just hilarious to me. And like I said, there's no word on if these are going to get an international release, but Japan gets all the cool stuff. That's what I will say about that. But yeah, my question to you guys is, what video game series would you like there to be like a fragrance line released for? Because yeah, Resident Evil to me is like, I understand that it's based around the heroes, but I'm still like, when I think of Resident Evil, I think of grotesque, gruesome stuff, not anything I would ever want to smell like. Although, you know what? Dude on Wheels says, I want to smell like a 9-foot vampire lady. And I think a lot of people would like to smell like Lady Dimitrescu. So that's totally fine. Steven says, Dante from Devil May Cry would have a perfume. Yeah. Monster Hunter perfume maybe smells like sweat, says Thomas Moffat. Jeremy wants a Mario Brothers perfume. What would that smell like? What is the waifu game? Genshin Impact? That one, says Steven. Okay, all right. The RCV says they will really spin anything into a perfume, won't they? Beertastic Yogi says God of War cologne could be godly. It's true, it could. Princess Peach perfume. You know what? I would try out Princess Peach perfume. But like, would Mario and Luigi's fragrances smell like plumbers? Not ideal. Zelda perfume I could see working as well. Yeah, Breath of the Wild suggests Took It Home to Jenny. Yeah, these are all possible. Dave C. says, Serious Sam Headless Bomberman body spray. Harney thinks Mario would maybe smell like a toilet since he's a plumber. Yeah, I was trying to think games that are like super, like maybe like a Ghost of Tsushima perfume line. Maybe you could smell like the fragrant swaths of field that you ride through, or like the blossoms of the flowers. That could be cool, I guess. A lot of people are saying Zelda. Zelda would be cool. Maybe Final Fantasy perfume, maybe if there's different fragrances based on the different materia. That could be cool. What would Tifa smell like? I mean, honestly, probably sweat. Girls fighting hard most of the time. Ghost of Tsushima would be good, says Steven Summers. Yeah, this was just such a funny thing to me. I am all in favor of like taking your fandom and putting it in into various things that you would use in every day of your life. I have a lot of fandom themed home decor, a lot of fandom themed kitchen utensils and gadgets and stuff like that. Like, I'm a big fan of that in general. But Resident Evil is not where my mind would have gone for a fragrance line, just saying. But yes, I thought that was very funny. Thank you for sharing that with me today. Ooh, an Aerith perfume would smell like flowers. I am totally on board with that as well. Kratos deodorant, anyone? Says Rob K. Hilarious. All right, on to the Dead Space remake news. I know you guys were waiting for that. So there's a couple things here. It was announced that Eric Baptizat, who is the worked on Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Assassin's Creed Unity, Black Flag, and Origins, is confirmed as the game director for the Dead Space remake. So whether you're kind of more of a fan of old school Assassin's Creed or New World Assassin's Creed, I mean, Eric Baptizat's been there for a long time and a long line of them. And I mean, I would say pretty universally, people really like Assassin's Creed games in general. They keep making more of them. But the thing that I would say that I'm most excited to see Baptizat bring to the Dead Space remake is the awesome world building and how fully fleshed out the Assassin's Creed games are. Again, whether you're a fan of the new, more open world Assassin's Creed or the more old school version of Assassin's Creed, I do think that these games in general really set you in the setting that they're meant to be in. Now, being really set in the Dead Space world would be horrifying, but that's what it's all about, right? So that could be really cool. That's some news this week on the Dead Space remake. Plus, there was a report by GamesBeat saying that the game could release as early as fall 2022. There were also reports saying fiscal 2023 year, which would include as early as fall 2022, which is surprisingly early considering we haven't really heard much about the Dead Space remake up until this point. So those are two bits of brand new spanking news. And if you're like, Dead Space remake, what is happening? I missed this. The Dead Space remake is overhauling the original game to provide an update for newer gaming systems, so making use of the SSDs in the next-gen consoles, as well as things like 3D spatial audio, which is going to be terrifying in the Dead Space remake. Yeah, it's going to be completely rebuilt, I believe, within the engine. Yeah, completely rebuilt in EA's Frostbite engine. So it should be pretty cool. Wanted to throw it out to you guys. I mean, we know this is going to launch on next-gen Xbox, PlayStation, and on PC as well. But what are you guys most looking forward to from the Dead Space remake? Let's see. Steven says, real question is, do we make Trisha play this for more Scared Trisha fun? Oh, I'm going to stream it, for sure. You don't even have to make me. I'm going to stream it. I'm very interested in streaming it. And it is going to be very scary, I'm sure. Daniel Casaban would like to see Dead Space Balls, the video game. That would be a very different type of video game. Took it home to Jenny says, I don't think of Dead Space being that old. Well, that's because you're probably remembering when Dead Space 3 came out. But the original Dead Space, how old's the original Dead Space now? 20 years old? Was it 03? Let me do a quick original Dead Space release. Can chat get it before me? Probably. Original Dead Space. Oh, I guess the original Dead Space was 2008. It is newer than I thought. Good call, Jenny. Good call, Jenny. Took it home to Jenny says, I look forward to not playing it. Yeah, I get it. It's too scary for a lot of people. How do they improve on Dead Space? It's perfect, says Rob K. This is going to make me feel old. No. It's going to be terrifying. And yeah, now we know who the game director is, and we have an idea that it will release sometime in the 2023 fiscal year, meaning September 2022 to September 2023. Sometime in there. Now, that being said, that has not been officially confirmed, but good reason to believe that that is the case. But no official release date has been announced. All right, in other gaming news this week, in case anyone was on Twitter yesterday and saw the hashtags Pokemon No Day or Hear Us Niantic, if you saw those hashtags trending, there's been a little bit of drama in the Pokemon Go space. So I don't know if any of you are still playing Pokemon Go. I honestly haven't fired it up in years, but to the people who are still playing Pokemon Go, Niantic, who makes Pokemon Go and Ingress and Wizarding World of Harry Potter and all these different games, has recently made a lot of people mad. They made a decision to reintroduce the need for people to come closer together. So during the pandemic, because people shouldn't have gotten together, the company made a decision to reduce the in-game extended range feature for Pokestops. So I'm saying it wrong because the terms are confusing, but basically, before pandemic, you had to actually go to a gym or a Pokestop to get credit and do things there. During pandemic, they extended the range, I believe, from it was like 40 meters to 80 meters or something like that, so that you didn't have to get quite as close to promote social distancing, which is great. And they just recently made the decision to revert to pre-pandemic distances. Now, people got really upset because they were like, what about the Delta variant? This is still going on. I feel more comfortable still being socially distant. And there's a great argument being made and a great discussion being made around how the extended range that Niantic introduced during this time has been awesome for accessibility for people too, and enabled more people to play the game comfortably. Now, the hashtag Pokemon No Day and hashtag Hear Us Niantic were players overwhelmingly saying, please hear us. We don't want this to be reverted to the way that it used to be. Please keep it the way it is for the foreseeable future. And Niantic, in a response, said that its decision to revert the interaction distance from 80 meters back to 40 meters was made because it wants, quote, people to connect to real places in the real world and to visit places that are worth exploring. Then they went on to say, we are assembling an internal cross-functional team to develop proposals designed to preserve our mission of inspiring people to explore the world together while also addressing specific concerns that have been raised regarding interaction distance. Daniel Casaban says, Pokemon, no. I love the throwback there. Jimmy Sprinkle says, I live near a gym, so I don't need to go far. It's definitely not Blizzard controversy. You're correct, Steven Summers. And Hyperdrive Pick says, weird move, as Delta has many states and cities upping their severity levels. Right. So I do understand that the original mission of Pokemon Go was to get people out of their houses and exploring and being more physically active and bringing people together that may not have met before and creating social communities through the game. And that by not forcing people to go out, it takes away from that original mission a little bit. However, I also understand the accessibility needs and the want to be safe and cautious from a lot of players. So what do you think Niantic should do in this situation? Would love to hear. Pokemon is a trap, says Rob K. Jimmy Sprinkle says, I feel people aren't as crazy for Pokemon Go anymore, so not many people are flocking together. That could be true. I also heard someone say online that maybe this would bring more people back to the franchise if they kept it still pretty social distance. PokeReels says Pokemon is the best. Are you still playing Pokemon Go? PokeReels, let us know. Let's see. Steven Summers says, just make the fans happy, but not always. I mean, I believe that developers shouldn't necessarily always bow down to the fans, but I do think that the fans have very valid asks here. Aaron Booth says, how hard is it for them to just freaking keep the 80 meters for just another 6 months? I know, right? Well, I mean, that's the question. That is the question. So this is an ongoing debate. I don't know what Niantic's going to do about it. Like I said, haven't really been playing Pokemon Go, but honestly, hearing that it's 80 meters and not 40 kind of makes me want to try again just to see what's around my house that I could maybe get to within a short walk from my house. Because previously, I would have to get in the car to get to anything Pokemon Go related, so I just stopped playing. Like, when I lived closer to, like, Metro LA, where everything was super walkable, then I could access stuff within walking distance from my place. But now that I'm in the burbs, that's not the case at all. Like I said, I'd have to get in my car, and I just don't have that kind of time to get in my car and drive somewhere to, like, find a gym or a Pokestop. So I stopped playing. But maybe I should jump back in? I don't know. Took It Home to Jenny says, Pokemon Go has such good crowdsource maps that we used it to find nice isolated countryside walks. That's cool. The Pokemon Go game is poop, says PokeReels. So you love Pokemon, but you're not playing Pokemon Go. All right, totally fair. Totally fair. Pokemon Go is great as a step counter. I could see that. The RCV says the shorter distance was a problem for people in crowding areas that wasn't made for crowds. I remember those headlines as well. Or trespassing in areas they weren't supposed to be in. Aaron Booth says, I played during the pandemic because I could keep distant. But if they switched it back, I'll just stop playing entirely. I think they did switch it back, but we'll see. People are a little upset. Took it home to Jenny says, dang, that drink looks huge. I need to check the Discord for the recipe. Yep, it's in a very large glass. Nate said normally it wouldn't be served in this kind of glass, but it's in a very large glass, so I would be less likely to spill it on my electronics while I'm streaming. I appreciate Nate looking out for my laptop. And a lot of it's ice. It looks like there's a ton in here, but there's also a whole bunch of ice in here. Hi, TVR creators. Welcome to the stream, my friend. So yeah, I don't know that there's an easy solution for Niantic, given that the whole point of Pokemon Go is that people go places and get outside. However, there are very valid concerns raised by a whole lot of their player base. So there we have it. We'll just kind of have to watch and see what happens. And you earned the big drink, says Steven Summers. Thank you. This is the end of my work week. It was a very, very busy work week this week. Next week is going to be even busier. But then after that, and after this today, I'll get a little bit of a break. So that's lovely. I've been trying to take Saturdays off mostly. So this is really like the end of my work day and the beginning of my weekend, which is great. All right. Pokemon stay, says Orf, son of Orpheus. Thank you for putting a button on that for me. All right. In other gaming news, PSVR 2, the next PlayStation VR iteration, whatever that is, will supposedly be getting more AAA-like games. As someone that's a VR enthusiast but not a fan of like VR experiential demos, this is very exciting to me. And PSVR is a much lower entry point, I would say, for most people. If you have a PlayStation, you can get a PSVR for, what did they sell for? $300, $400 price point, I believe, right around there, as opposed to getting a $700 or $800 headset that needs a $2,000 or $3,000 PC attached to it to run. So that's what I mean by kind of more entry-level access. Still quite a lot of money, still definitely for enthusiasts, but I do like what PSVR offers from that standpoint, and I'm all in favor of people getting more into VR that maybe haven't tried it yet. So this news is exciting. A private event for potential PSVR 2 developers took place, and the company, Sony, said that it would like to move away from VR experiences and focus more on console quality AAA games. In a way of potentially creating hybrid games that could be played standard on a PlayStation or in VR. And when you download the game, you have the option to download and buy the VR version or the standard version. And in this way, thinking about, getting people to spend more time in game to make it feel less like a roller coaster demo in VR and more like an actual game that you want to play, kind of similar to how IO Interactive created the optional VR mode for Hitman 3. That's kind of what they're thinking. So that's very interesting, and I'm wondering for you guys in chat, how many of you that might kind of bring into the PSVR fold. Does that interest you in any way? They also said that next-gen PSVR is internally referred to as NG-VR, or next-gen VR. And that coincides with some specs that leaked a little bit earlier, including a resolution of 4000 by 2080 per eye, or 2000 by 2040 per eye, excuse me. A field of view of 110 degrees, which is about 10 degrees higher than the original PSVR. This was also leaked that the system would be capable of flexing, scaling resolution, and will concentrate resources on the player's area of focus to help reduce strain on your eyes and hopefully reduce motion sickness as well. A haptic feedback system designed to increase immersion and help reduce motion sickness as well. And we have an expected holiday 2022 release date, funny enough. So let's see. Are We Dead Yet says, I still mostly use my PSVR for watching Netflix. And Daniel Casaban says, Dead Space in VR. That would be terrifying. That would be totally terrifying. Hi to you, Patrick, in New Zealand. You live where I would like to live. Thank you for giving me some Kiwi love. I'm a big fan of where you live. Steven Summers says, I'm content watching people play VR. The games aren't really that great that I want to play them myself yet. So maybe this could change that. Rob K says, if I can play The Exorcist Legion VR on it, then I would be happy. Jimmy says it does not make me want a PSVR. But Beardtastic Yogi says, I have loved my time with the original PSVR, and I will probably get this next gen VR, NGVR, PSVR 2, whatever they are going to call it. Maface says, dumb question, but what does the AAA mean? AAA just meaning like AAA studios, kind of the big studios and the big games that they launch. Think like Horizon Zero Dawn or Insomniac's Spider-Man. Think of games like that. Those are considered AAA games. So if you're thinking more AAA type games for the PSVR, that's what that would mean. Like bigger, long form, fully fleshed out and usually very well funded video game development. VR for Dungeons and Dragons would be cool, Steven, for sure. More or less, it means a blockbuster game, says Hyperdrive Picks. Totally. Took it home to Jenny, says, I get so motion sick playing first-person shooters. I am too scared for VR. I get that. The only time I ever got motion sick having an experience in VR was when my body was all thrown out of whack from being pregnant, which is funny. That's kind of how I found out I was pregnant at E3 one year, trying to do VR demos and like suddenly getting motion sick for the first time in my life and thinking, I do VR demos all the time and this has never happened before. Something's wrong with me. Well, there was something weird with my body and there you go. That's what it was. Yes, my family's doing well, Patrick. How are you? How is yours? Let's see. But yeah, I mean, that's the news on the PSVR 2 front. I would say Beat Saber is not a AAA, but it is one of my favorite games that's available for VR. I don't know if it's available for PSVR. I think it is available everywhere, including PSVR, but don't definitely quote me on that one. All right, quick hits news. Not like huge news stories, but stuff that I thought was fun and wanted to bring up anyway. Saber Interactive and Boss Team Games have announced that Evil Dead, the game, has been delayed to February 2022. And that's in order to give the team extra time to polish the game, as well as add a single-player mode, which I'm a huge fan of. If you're like, Evil Dead, the game? It was announced at the Game Awards in 2020, and we know that it's going to have co-op. We know it's going to have PvP. And I believe that Bruce Campbell is playing Ash as well. So people who are huge fans of the Evil Dead are obviously very much so looking forward to Evil Dead the game. And we found out, though, that it will be delayed to February 2022. But I am excited about the single-player mode. That would be very cool. Beardtastic Yogi confirms Beat Saber is on PSVR. Oh, good. Very funny. Perfect. Hyperdrive Pick says, Trisha finding out she was pregnant by playing video games is one of the most Trisha things I've ever heard. Yeah, it's true. It's totally on brand for me, for Trisha Hershberger's life, for sure. Joe, thank you so much for the super chat, my friend. Says, happy Friday, Trisha. Made it through another week. Thanks for being you. As always, here's to the Trisha Frozen and Carbonite Fund. Take it easy there. Trisha Frozen and Carbonite Fund, thank you so much for the super chat. And thank you for the kind words. I'm glad you made it through another week, and happy Friday to you as well. All right, other quick news. There is a fan-made Half-Life 2 that is in the works right now. It is a Half-Life 2 remastered collection, and supposedly it has Valve's nod of approval, which is very cool. So it is not Valve affiliated, but if Valve was like, you know what, make this with our blessing. I always love to hear that. Supporting fans creating content about things that they're passionate about and games that they love is super, super awesome. So whenever I see devs or publishing companies signing off with their approval, that makes me really happy. It's modder Philip Victor is who is making the Half-Life 2 remastered collection. And yeah, hopefully it turns out awesome and Valve does not issue a cease and desist after it comes out. Hey! Patrick says, are you still in contact with your SourceFed friends? Some of them, although I haven't really seen anyone here in LA in a long time because of everything going on in the world. But yeah, I still keep in touch with, I would say, the majority of the SourceFed folks, for sure. Also, Back for Blood's early access beta came out yesterday, although I know yesterday some people were having a problem getting in. Hopefully everybody's good now. I don't know if you guys got access to the early access. If you did not, all you need to do is watch a Twitch streamer that has drops enabled for 1 hour. A Twitch streamer who is playing Back 4 Blood's beta has drops enabled, streaming for 1 hour, and then you also can get a code to jump in on the beta early access. I'm thinking about streaming it on Sunday a little bit, although I don't know who I'm going to stream it with. I'm streaming it on Sunday for a little bit because my channel does have drops enabled, so if any of you want to get in on that. And if you're like, Back 4 Blood, which one was that again? It's a spiritual successor to Left 4 Dead. If you like Left 4 Dead 2, you're going to love Back 4 Blood. It has a versus mode that I got to play on Twitch's The Weekly yesterday, which was cool. And it's a real good zombie killing fun, if that's something you would be down for. Christian Polson says Back 4 Blood has been popping off on Twitch. Yeah, it has. It's because everyone's doing the drops. Getting those drops. Took It Home to Jenny says Valve was old school indie and therefore has more respect for independent creators and modders. I think that's a very, very solid thought and how you got there, Jenny, for sure. John Vitale says, I got into the Back 4 Blood beta last night and it was amazing fun. It is a good time. It is a good time. And Thomas says, zombies are so 2000s. Yeah, I don't know about that. I'm still feeling the zombie fun when swarms of them come at you and you're just able to mow them all down. Or last time Back 4 Blood had the alpha, I jumped into that and I just got the shovel as a melee weapon and just shoveled my way through the levels. It was great. It was a good time. Play Back 4 Blood, please, says Rob K. All right, well, there it's decided, man. So we'll definitely play some Back 4 Blood beta on Sunday. And then anyone who watches that for at least an hour, I will have drops enabled. So you'll be able to get into the beta as well, which will be great. Another fun fact that I found this week that's super random. Apparently, I'm a big fan of Final Fantasy X, but apparently Titus, the main character in Final Fantasy X, was originally supposed to be a plumber instead of an athlete. I mean, were they just like, hey, Mario does well. Let's make Titus a plumber and then everyone will love him, just like they love Mario and Luigi. Like, what? That would be such a turn. It'd be so weird. I mean, I guess it's because I am so in love with Final Fantasy X the way it is, but to think of Titus as a plumber instead of an athlete is just really funny to me. So, I thought that was like a fun fact that I found this week as well. Zombies are still awesome in my opinion, says Rob K. It's a me, Titus, says Stephen Summers. John says, regarding Back 4 Blood, the graphics look amazing, as well as level design is amazing. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Scott says, I just started Spider-Man Miles Morales. Have I played it? Yes, I did a full playthrough on my Twitch channel, actually. That was that the first game we played? On the PS5, when I got my PS5, I originally played through Insomniac Spider-Man, so that I had all that lore in my back pocket when we did Miles Morales. Yeah, pretty funny that Titus was originally a plumber. But, I was going to say that's all the news that I have for you, but it's not. I have even more. Other quick hits. Sony says it now thinks it has enough components to hit its goal of 22 million PS5s by the end of the current fiscal year. So hopefully the PS5 shortage will be a thing of the past. I know I constantly see you guys tweeting me like, I got my PS5, or, putting messages in Discord, etc. So congrats. And to anyone who's still trying to get a PS5, hopefully this announcement from Sony will mean that you'll be able to get it sooner rather than later. And Mario Golf got an update with a new player who is Toadette, a new course, New Donk City, a new ranked match mode, and improved motion controls as well. So for those of you who've been enjoying Mario Golf, you now have new stuff to look forward to. I know my phone blew up earlier today. Gary Whitta and Naomi Kyle were like, yo, you can play as Toadette now. Did you see New Donk City? Because that's my squad that I play Super Mario Golf Super Rush with. But yes, that is officially all the news that I found this week. It was a lot, but I feel like nothing super huge, no stop everything record scratch gaming news moments, but still just some fun stuff to chat about. If there's anything I missed that you guys want to chat about, please go ahead and put it in chat. Eric says Final Fantasy VII Remake on hard mode is a whole different experience. Ooh, that's interesting. I don't know if I will go back and stream that, but I am thinking about streaming Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade soon. Do I like FromSoft games They're very hard for me, Ronnie. I usually play them for a little bit, but give up before I can get all the way through them, to be perfectly frank. Let's see. NetherRealm might be making a Marvel fighting game. I feel like we've talked about that before on Dragonrider Happy Hour, but yes, that is definitely exciting news. Ronnie Curry says, I just want a PS5 for Demon's Souls. I get that. I get that. But I also, speaking of, I see people talking about Final Fantasy VII Remake and what game we might stream next on Twitch. I did put a notice in the general channel of the Discord today asking for people to weigh in on which game we should play next on Twitch as far as like our long-term playthrough. So like I mentioned, I'll probably do some Back 4 Blood if I can find people to stream with on Sunday, some Back 4 Blood beta on Sunday, and then maybe something else. We'll see. We'll just see how it goes. But feel free to jump in the Discord if you have opinions about what game should be the next long-term playthrough, because I would love to hear your thoughts on the matter. I'm a little indecisive right now. 12 Minutes comes out in 2 weeks, I believe, and I definitely want to play that, but that leaves us 2 weeks until then. And I also realized in the Discord I did not add Mass Effect Legendary Edition to the voting, and I totally should have. So feel free to give a write-in vote for that if that's what you would like to see. But yeah, so many great games out right now, and don't know what to play next. Good problem to have. So let's see. You can probably rope mod into play. Yeah, maybe, Steven. Took it home to Jenny says, I really wish there was a story mode in the Soulsborne games. I want to explore the lore and not be murderballed every 20 seconds. I kind of feel the same way, and I know that's not how From Software rolls, but I do love dark fantasy, so I would love to explore more of those games. But yeah, normally I end up rage quitting at some point. Steven says, Mass Effect will always have my vote. Reefy, I'm sorry if I say your name wrong. Says, any news on Soul Reaver? Not that I have found this week, but I will keep my eyes peeled for you, my friend, to see if anything does come out. But anyway, thank you all so much for joining me for Happy Hour today. This has been absolutely lovely, and thank you for helping me wind down my very busy work week, and there's not a better way I could think of doing it than hanging out with all of you guys. So you are the best. I appreciate you so very much. And yeah, Patrick says, I hope to get a PS5 soon. Like I said, hopefully Sony says that they've secured enough components to make that happen, to meet demand. So fingers crossed, that means they'll be easier to acquire soon. So yeah. Oh, thank you guys. I see everyone in chat saying thank you, no thank you, no thank you, no thank you. And cheers to a wonderful, safe, happy, and healthy weekend. The next time I will be live is Sunday at 10 a.m. for my Sunday chill stream. Although if we play the Back 4 Blood beta, it probably will not be super chill. So I will head out there and see if I can find any good Back 4 Blood beta friends that will want to play, because I don't think there's a way you can play it just by yourself. And I mean, I could just play with randos online, but if any of you guys are playing it, hit me up in the Discord. And yes, I will be live Sunday morning. And make sure to go in the Discord and also vote for what game I should do a full playthrough next. And yeah. Oh, I also did film a little thing. I opened one of the, I found a time capsule from my mom and dad's house. That they were like, clean out some of that stuff under your sister's bed, like that really old stuff. And I found a time capsule I made in 1988. So I'm like, what did young 1988 Trisha think was important enough to put in a time capsule? Well, I opened it all up and recorded it in a video that I think I'm going to post on my YouTube channel. So if you want to see that, keep an eye out. I know most people that subscribe to this YouTube channel did so way before subscription notifications and like smashing that bell and all that was a thing. So if you don't have those turned on, please turn those on so that whenever I do get around to editing and uploading the Trisha time capsule video, you'll be one of the first to know. I'll also post it in the Discord, so if you'd rather do things that way, that's a-okay too. All right, everybody, be kind to one another. Have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you soon. Cheers!